AX server. First of all, let me show how to log into the server from a remote laptop or a desktop. So I'm using a Ubuntu Linux on my laptop, so I'm opening a terminal of that, and then I'm going to telnet to my AX server, that is 192.168.2.15. okay, now I got the logon screen, and I'm going to log in as root user. Root is nothing but an administrator for Windows. So root is the administrator for AIX, and I logged in as root user, and to see the system information I'm typing a uname-a. It shows what operating system it is, that is AX operating system, and this is the host name of the server, that is AIX server, and this is nothing but the AX release and version. That is actually, we call it as AIX version 5 release 3, that is 5.3, and this is nothing but a host ID. And another command which we need to know is bootinfo-r. It will show the system memory, that is nothing but your random access memory. It is showing in KB, and there is another way to find out the system memory. lsattr command will list the attributes of memory. So here you can see the size of the memory is 512 MB and the good size is 512. That means the whole of your random access memory is working fine. Suppose if the size is 1 GB and if the good size it shows as 512, that means half of your memory has gone bad. So this is a way to find the memory, and let us see how to find out the processor information. lsdev-C processor. This command will list out all the CPUs in your system. So my system got only one processor, that is Proc0, and I want to know the attributes or the information about the processor. Here you can see the frequency, it is showing in Hertz, so you have to calculate it accordingly to find out the actual frequency or speed of the processor in megahertz, or nowadays we are getting in gigahertz. So mine is around 300 something megahertz, and the processor I use is a PowerPC 604E, and that is ummo command to find the processor speed or the frequency. PM cycles, this will show the processor speed in megahertz or gigahertz, so you don't have to calculate anything. Okay, then to find out the kernel type, you type bootinfo-K, it shows 32, that means your kernel is a 32-bit kernel, and if it shows 64, it means it's a 64-bit kernel. Basically, for running a 64-bit kernel you need to have a 64-bit hardware, but if you have a 32-bit hardware like I got, you can run only a 32-bit kernel. So bootinfo-Y shows the hardware type or the CPU type. So here it is showing that 32, that means it's a 32-bit hardware, so I can run only a 32-bit kernel. If you want to know about all this hardware information, you can type prtconf. It will show everything like your system model. I'm using a 7046B15, it's a pretty old system, and the machine's serial number, the processor type, the number of processors, and the clock speed, I mean the frequency of the processor, and the CPU type, that's the hardware type, 32-bit or 64-bit, and the kernel type, and the memory size, and the firmware version, and a lot of other things like the host name, IP address, subnet, gateway. It even shows the paging and all. So prtconf is a very good command if you want to know about the system hardware information. It's somewhat like your device manager, the computer information in Windows. and there is one more command called lsconf. lsconf will give you the same output like the prtconf command. You can also view the attribute of the system device sys0. It will show you a lot of system related information like whether the console login is enabled or not, and it shows you the system ID. System ID is nothing but your system serial number. It shows you a real memory, that's your random access memory. You call it as RAM or physical memory. It shows in KB, so you just divide it by 1024 to get the value in megabytes. It shows a pretty lot of things, and if you want to know the system model, you can type this command uname -M. Here we got 7046B50. It's a PowerPC processor, and uname-p will show what kind of system it is, PowerPC. bootinfo-p is the most important command if you're planning to migrate a machine from AX 5.2 to 5.3, because AX 5.3 will support only CHRP architecture. So if your machine is something different, you can't migrate to AX 5.3. So you need to confirm whether your system is CHRP or not, then only you can migrate your operating system to AIX 5.3 from 5.2 or 5.1.